Beyoncé is dubbed the First Lady of Music by Clive Davis, seen as royalty stateside, is a living cultural icon inherited as the greatest performer alive by everyone, but hasn't won top honors at the Grammys. Instead, she's made history as the most awarded artist at the Grammys, beating out this guy. Listen, before I go any further, I'd like to say I'm not part of the Beehive. At this moment in time, I'm a casual onlooker, Miss Carter. My thing is, if the industry is saying she is the queen, then she needs to be winning regal prizes, not this nonsense. And by the way, I've never seen any large press coverage for an individual being the most awarded at the Grammys. It wasn't like a huge thing. Now the Academy's hyping it up for Beyonce, it really seems like a consolation prize. Anyways, this whole video is my opinion, and I'm going to share my thoughts on what top honors really means for the Recording Academy. I'll also be theorizing why Beyonce keeps submitting to the Grammys, especially at this point in her career. And if you can't take any slight jokes or shade or criticisms of Queen Bee, please don't watch, as I digress. Let's first talk about what top honors really means. These are awards from the 4 major categories: Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. And in my opinion, these are awards meant to honor the industry favorites because artists who have been culturally prominent, who have seen commercial and critical success, haven't always been given their due at the Grammys. But something that's always consistent was the industry darlings sweeping whatever year they had in the bag. But again, this is my opinion. Tell me what y'all think. Remember, these are the sections where all the Grammy personnel can vote, and it's the categories known by the general public and heavily promoted to the general public, and they're the Scammy's crowning glory. And just like the Oscars, winning in these categories shows how much your peers value you and celebrate you. It gives you credibility. At this point in her career, Beyonce has one top honor, which was Song of the Year in 2010 for Single Ladies. And depending on whether you believe B is actually using her pen, I guess you think it's a win for her, but me, not so much. At this point in Carter's career, I think we can all see that she's in her I'm coming out Diana Ross phase, where Carter is the revered diva who has nothing else to prove to the world, has reached all these milestones, is a cultural icon, but who's not at the height of their career anymore. Her now winning top honors at this point tells me that the industry is divesting from her to make way for new people. I thought at this point, she would at least get something for being in the industry for so long. Now in the past, when she first started her solo career around like 2003, from the Dangerously in Love LP to the Lemonade LP, my biggest theory as to why she hadn't gotten top honors then was because they wanted to control her. Throughout those eras, Beyonce was a cultural juggernaut, especially during B-Day and the Sasha Fierce eras. She had so much influence. Not to mention she was doing pretty well on the charts. So I feel like the Grammys at that point were like, what's the one thing we can hang over her head to get her to perform and to get her to keep showing up so we can use her clout? Well, let's dangle top honors over her head. And, you know, I think I last heard from CBS or some news source that I think viewership jumped up 70% when Beyonce arrived to the ceremony. So there has to be some connection, you know? And I can understand back then why she went along with it for a little bit, but after the snub at the 2010 awards, I would figure she would be more inconsistent showing up to the Grammys. And for more context, during the 2010s Grammys, her I Am Sasha Fierce album was being nominated. So that was B's most commercial album. It had multiple top 10 hits, with her biggest hit to date being Single Ladies. And Single Ladies was a cultural reset, and in my opinion, it should have been Record of the Year, but Halo was nominated in that category instead, and the whole thing was a mess. To anyone who says we shouldn't give the Grammys so much legitimacy, I'd say that's valid. But if you're wondering why we care so much about these awards in regards to B, well, it's because Beyonce cares, hence why she keeps submitting her albums to the Academy. And because of what Beyonce represents, being one of the last icons currently active in music right now, she deserves top honors for just longevity's sake, in my opinion. The industry has made it clear where they stand, which really makes me question why she keeps submitting her LPs. Like, it could be because of legitimacy, but she already had cemented her spot in the industry a while back. She already has cultural standing. She already has this critical success. So the only other reason I can think of is legacy. When Beyonce first went solo, her team had marketed her as a legend in the making. And I don't know if y'all peeped this, but Beyonce was all about cementing herself as an icon in her early days. Her first solo performances was with Prince and Tina Turner, aligning herself with the greats from the jump. Not her contemporaries, the greats. In my opinion, she succeeded in being a legend. Seeing how she moves, you can tell she studied the greats' careers, and she was very methodical about it. Like she was checking off a list of cultural milestones. Knowles started off in a group, then went solo to be the superstar. MJ and Diana Ross, anyone? She also made a production management label company around 2005, like Whitney and Madonna did. Beyonce had her meta movie like Diana Ross in Mahogany, and also Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard before her, when she starred in the 2007 film Dreamgirls. Just like Whitney, she had a hit song from the soundtrack, Listen. She built a decades-long career and had a top 10 hit 25 years into it with Break My Soul, like Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and Madonna. Had her iconic VMA moments, like Prince and Madonna before her. And of course, she did the whole iconic Grammy performances too. MJ and Prince was doing visual albums, so is Beyonce. Mariah and Whitney had iconic national anthems at the Super Bowl. Well, Beyonce did it too. MJ met Diana. Well, Beyonce met her sons. But it's more than just checking off items on the list. I think she feels the need to surpass the greats. What's better than one Super Bowl performance? 2 iconic Super Bowl performances. MJ was dubbed the King of Pop. Well, she's the Queen Bee. MJ had his iconic 1987 Yokohama performance, and Diana Ross had her iconic 1983 Central Park performance. Well, B had Beychella, the most watched live performance on YouTube in 2018. She was the first Black woman to headline the festival. More so, her band and dancers were made up from HBCU students. Some milestones felt flat though. She didn't succeed in film, and I don't think her national anthem was memorable. And she never had her I Will Always Love You career-defining ballad. Like she had songs like Listen, At Last, and I Was Here, but those songs never took off in the way she wanted it to. Some goals never came true, like her getting an EGOT. There's no way she could beat any album record since we're in the streaming era. And no matter how hard she tried, she hasn't gotten top honors at the Grammys. So I guess winning the most Grammys will do. But this is just my theory. Tell me what y'all think. But I want to stress that just because she missed on some milestones doesn't mean that the cultural milestones that she did pull off is any less than. They're still pretty great. For me, her greatest moments will always be Beychella and the 2016 Super Bowl. Though sometimes I wonder, would she be as big and influential as she is if she didn't have those blueprints to follow? B will always still be as talented, yes, but as influential? I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. And that's all I have for today. Just wanted to keep this video very sweet and short and keep things light. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Goodbye.